Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LiveENODING. In this episode, we're gonna try to create a procedural cactus. I've been thinking to do this for a while. Cactus is actually one of the interesting procedural kind of plant that we can actually recreate. I think there are actually few kinds of cactus out there. This looks like a sphere, and the spiky thing is only like run down this edge loop of the sphere. This one is kind of basic, but not really. If you go inside it, it's not that basic. And there is also this kind where the edges is kind of like displaced. The one that I'm thinking to create is actually the simple one, just like you might see in the cartoon. Maybe I start from that first. Yeah, at a glance, it looks like a coral kind of plant as well, except that they're on the dry. They grow on the dry area. Yeah, this is a good photos, but they are for tiny little cactus. Like really the signature of cactus is just like the spiky bits, and then also this one kind of this is actually very interesting. If you try to recreate this procedurally just using algorithm, for now I think I'm just gonna create kind of like a cartoony cactus, and I will be using grease pencil. So go to the front view and view orthographic, and I'll start from here. This is probably some kind of base. So I like drawing a cactus using grease pencil is not, so you're not gonna be designing a cactus like this. This is gonna be probably a wrong way to do it, unless you want to draw like a cartoony cactus and you draw it this way. What you really want is probably something more like this. Draw the stem, and then you draw how it is branching, you know, like a typical cactus looking object. And remember, this is like only two-dimensional. You can actually you can go around it. One thing I found with grease pencil, I remember it used to be able to place the stroke on the stroke endpoint, things like that, you know. But I tried it the other day. It doesn't quite work. Oh, that's kind of working. Doesn't always work. See, like that's a little bit of miss. I don't know. I think I can still adjust it manually for now. Basically, the idea is to make that kind of branching using grease pencil, and then go to Sverchok and kind of tweak it. This is Sverchok Cactus symbol. Okay, let's get started inside Sverchok. So we have the grease pencil, and we want to remesh this stroke. So there, you can start from scratch, you know, like using the selector, object ID selector, get to grease pencil, etc. But there is a macro inside Sverchok that you can use. If you control space and then find this macro, there is one for grease pencil setup here. You just select that, and you get this kind of like a template for grease pencil creations. And you might need to update it, or you need to point out the grease pencil layer. I'll just pick an active frame. Okay, now we get it. This is actually already pretty close to completion, except for a few things. First of all, we have we can see we have 7 strokes of grease pencil data. If you bake it, you're gonna get, you know, all separate strokes. Maybe that's what you want, but maybe you also want them to be joined. So use mesh join, just join the vertices and edges data. And you perhaps want to use this for skin measure. So skin mesher definitely will give you something that looks like a cactus. Turn on live. Yeah, so that's actually pretty close. There's actually some anomaly happening sometimes. The twisties. The twisties is a funny thing. I don't know how it gets there. I think it should be fixed somehow from the edge itself. I don't know, but I guess it's part of the. I guess it's part of this design anyway. So this is how I was thinking how we can create a cactus. Of course, you can add particle hair into this guy, for example, if you want to do further. New particle and particle system, make a hair particles, and how many hair? Maybe 100 hair. Actually, hair particle advance. Go to frame 0. Use modifier stack. We need to turn on modifier stack because this guy is using skin modifier and subsurf and etc. And this cactus too long by default. 0.3. It's a bunch of them. Yeah, cactus is actually not that random. Cactus is more like it's actually, if you have like a UV sphere and then you give it some kind of displacement all along this edge loop, you will get like a more like a cactus kind of design, like this guy right here. I think that's probably what I should try to create next. And then even the position of the spike is not totally random, like not like this in the cartoony looking cactus. It's not like that. But anyway, for now we're just gonna do the cartoony one. Okay, so we have one. Let's say you go back to the front view. Really, if you want to make like a super cartoony cactus, you can do it this way. You know, like you keep drawing on the center there. Just make a bunch of them. I'll draw it over here. So this is of course easier than having to generate an algorithm for cactus, but of course this is just different. Sometimes like a more technical one is more interesting. This is like not so complicated, but I don't know what to do with the twisties there. You can, however, let's say you want a little bit cleaner one, you can probably use remove double here, vertices and polygon edges. So what's going on here is that we gonna join. You see the branching there? We're joining them together. If they are close, and so join it. But cactus is actually a little bit funny. I think I found they don't always branch like this. They don't do this kind of branching. See where the connection is. Wow, this is like, so that's a very good detail there. That's a more correct way to design a cactus. If we actually design the displacement, it's gonna look much more interesting and intricate. For now, yeah, we're just gonna stick to this cactus. So you can basically create a bunch, you know, you don't need to have like so many variations. Just make a bunch and then you instance it. Yeah, I think that's a quick one. This was, I don't know, I think the twisting, I know there's a way to fix it, but I'll have a look. But anyway, this is how I was thinking we can generate a cactus. Let me know what you think. I'll need a feedbacks, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for tuning in.